Welcome to our session on the state of districts. And I have the pleasure of inviting our moderator for the show, Dr. Shefali Das, who is Distinguished Fellow, SKOCH Development Foundation and former Director General, National Informatics Center, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. She is a PhD in physics and former Deputy Director General, National Informatics Center, prior to her role taking over as the Director General. Her area of specialization are planning and implementation of management information systems and decision support systems, development and implementation of e-governance programs, down to the level of districts, informatics development services and setting up of computer centers, local area networks and computer communication infrastructure in rural areas. This, I hand over the mic to Dr. Das to run our State of Districts panel discussion. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bhushan. Good morning to everybody, all our panelists. Recently we had our Independence Day celebration where the clarion call given by the Prime Minister in his Independence Day speech. He charged all of us with the task of making India a developing nation in the next 25 years. And that would be possible with Sabka Prayas along with Sabka Vikas, his old slogan of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas. We must ensure to meet this goal of building AatmaNirbhar Bharat by the time we celebrate 100 years of our independence. Good governance, especially at the district level, is very important. To achieve this, as district administration is the interface between the local governance at the villages, blocks and jilla with the central and state government for dissemination and implementation of policies. With this background, I must now invite our panelists. So let me first introduce the panelists. We have Miss Barnali Deka. She is the Deputy Commissioner Kokrajhar. She earlier served at TCS and ANZ Bank as software engineer, business analyst and consultant in global consulting practices, and ex-IPS officer of 2007 batch. She has additional charge of Director, Bodoland Administrative Staff College and Bodoland Territorial Council. She headed the flagship missions like Assam Skill Development Mission, Assam State Rural Development, State Rural Livelihood Mission and Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Urban Mission Director. So with this wide experience of her, I invite her to tell us how she has leveraged her expertise and experience as a software engineer, police officer and administrator to fulfill the challenges of becoming a developing nation through inclusive governance. Ms. Deka.
Thank you so much, ma'am. A very good afternoon to all present here, and I thank everybody for this opportunity. I have a presentation, ma'am, if you kindly allow, and I'll go through it. How much time would I have?
You can take about 10 minutes.
Okay, all right. I'll finish it off.
And then if you have, and then we'll have more time for discussion, or maybe you can do it in 5 minutes if you like. So we have more discussion depending on you.
Okay, so I'll take about 10 minutes, ma'am, because there are two initiatives. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm changing the slides. Are the changes visible now?
Yes.
Okay, it's visible. So, I take this opportunity today to present on Kokrajhar on certain initiatives of my district Kokrajhar, mainly two initiatives, Jan Bhagidari in Poshan, how we've created a sense of Jan Bhagidari in Honorable Prime Minister's one of his key vision areas, Poshan, and the other is One District, One Product or ODOP. I've gone to the next slide. Is the slide change visible on the other end?
Yes, is the area slide, right?
Yes, yeah. Sometimes it gets stuck. So
I know.
just a little about the district. My district is Kokrajhar, area 3169 square kilometers. A lot of us would know about the chicken's neck. So Kokrajhar is the entry point to India's northeast, from the mainstream India, from chicken's neck to India, and Kokrajhar to northeast India. Kokrajhar in the recent past was extremely insurgency prone. We would have heard news of insurgent activities in Kokrajhar. District has a very heterogeneous population mix, and it is lagging in most of the HDIs, high dependency on agriculture. So why had we taken up Poshan as an initiative? Because in NFHS 5, our indicators had further dropped down. To start off with, our parameters in health were never very good, but in NFHS 5, it had further dipped down. Stunting had, increased by 4%, wasting, severe wasting, underweight, and MMR of Kokrajhar is much higher than the state average. Assam is at one of the highest MMR states of the country, and Kokrajhar is it's much higher even than the state average. So the intervention was in terms of data-driven methodology and a lot of brainstorming, consulting all the stakeholders and so on. And we developed these 6-point interventions. Poshan Clubs, Zothon Khangnai, Smart Papa, Poshan Vatikas, Convergence with ODOP, and Uneni Narsan. And in all our initiatives, we have been using a data-driven approach. We measured the key parameters. We've done a lot of data analysis. And our approach has always been two-pronged. A, it has been in terms of meticulous scheme implementation. Whatever are the government schemes, we have tried to implement these in letter and spirit. And B, it has been in terms of various innovations through which we have tried to do problem solving. So the first initiative I would like to talk about is Poshan Clubs. When I first joined the district, I found that there was a lot of apathy in the community for Poshan related targets, and also the children, they did not have too many role models available in the community. So we thought, why do we not use children as key leaders and drivers of societal, attitudinal and behavioral changes? And with a key to develop the overall personality of children, we launched Poshan Clubs in all the schools of the district, all 1611 schools, and within a few months we saw phenomenal results. Of course, the outreach was to about 1.5 lakh enrolled students. We have 16,000 plus active members, and these children conducted Bal Sabhas and Bal Sansats and various nutritive outreach programs in all the 1068 villages of the district. This initiative is a massive exercise of convergence. As you can see, all the departments are tagged, their field officers are tagged to certain schools, and the initiatives of the government, the initiatives of the department are also tagged to the children. For example, when a girl child is born, the local NHM unit informs the concerned CRCC, that is the Cluster Resource Coordinator of the Education Department, and also the Social Forestry Department, and through the school headmasters and the principals, they ensure that children of these Poshan Clubs go and do plantation in a household that has welcomed a new female child, to create a sense of, and these are fruit-bearing and valuable trees, to ensure the nutrition of the girl child. So many such initiatives under Poshan Clubs, and we have incentivized this with the best performing club every year, every month, winning a trip to DC office, and they get a chance to interact with the Deputy Commissioner and senior officers of the administration. The second was Zothon or Khangnai. Zothon in Bodo language means care, and Khangnai means a form of guardianship. So we told in terms of severely acute malnourishment and moderate acute malnourishment, we had a sizable number of children. So we asked our government officers that why do you not adopt a child? Take care of the nutritive needs of the child for a certain period till the child comes out of malnourishment. And we had a very good response. On the left are the posters. We had circulated this through our social media, and we had kept it limited only to the government officials to start off with. And a number of them came forward because, especially in the younger generation, one can see that there is a sense of, of wanting to give back to the society. So this is another initiative. The third is in terms of smart papa, often in not only in rural areas, often in urban areas also, we see that the parenting responsibility is disproportionately on the mothers. So smart papa initiative encouraged the fathers to take a role in the parenting of the child, in the nutrition of the child, in the healthcare, in the nutritive needs of the child, education of the child. And through Smart Papa initiative, we conducted a number of community events and sensitized about 1,000 plus fathers. Just the Smart Papa relates to fathers, Uneni Narsan, which essentially translates to Sneha Sparsha, it relates to the mothers. And under Uneni Narsan, we have identified, because there is a study, there are in fact a number of studies which show that the nutritive results of the child's health in terms of nutrition are closely linked to the education of the mother. If the mother is, say, 12 pass, there is a greater possibility, a greater likelihood of the mother giving a more balanced kind of diet vis-a-vis a mother who is not 12 pass, who is more likely to feed the same kind of food to the child. So we identified the mothers of these SAM-MAM children and we conducted various institute training, 6-day training, right from menstrual hygiene to nutritious cooking with local ingredients. A number of times these SAM-MAM children are not only from the BPL families, some of them come from, relatively well-off families, but because the child is, not enjoying the change in taste and so on, the child doesn't eat. So we taught them nutritious cooking with whatever local ingredients are available and so many other things under Uneni Narsan. Then another thing, when I would go to the field, what I saw is that while the child refuses to eat vegetables at home, he does so when he is amongst his peers in the midday meal. So keeping this in mind, through local crowdsourcing, through local CSR, we started developing Poshan Vatikas in all of the schools and Anganwadis. So within a very short time, we increased from 300% to 1611, that is covering all the schools and most of the Anganwadis. The last is convergence with ODOP. So there is a separate, some slides on ODOP. I'll quickly go through those slides. And these are some of the results. Yeah. So ODOP, One District, One Product, is a particular initiative of Honorable Prime Minister. Honorable Prime Minister has said that every district of our country has a potential that is equal to a country itself, and in terms of developing in terms of balanced economic development of the various regions of the country, why do we not have a product which can capture the essence of the district and take advantage of economies of scale? So in Kokrajhar, we took up mushroom as the ODOP. In fact, we almost missed the ODOP bus because when I joined about a year back, there was, we had not even finalized the product. But after a lot of consultation with various departments, with stakeholders, with community organizations, with farmer groups, we decided to pick up mushroom. Why did we select mushroom? Because agroclimatically, mushroom is well suited to Kokrajhar. Mushroom also is an answer to our problem of agro waste, because number of us may not be aware that mushroom cultivation does not need land. It is enough to have a substrate, and this substrate can be agro waste. So we can use the agro waste, we can use it as a substrate for the mushroom. We don't even need land, and mushroom can provide, it is one of the most high density producers of protein. So because of these various reasons, we decided to take up mushroom. Also, it's easier to handle. So we felt that, for our women self-help groups, it could be a very viable product for their livelihood development. So these are some of the benefits of mushroom, and we developed a zero waste model. And another benefit is in terms of year-round cropping. We could sync in and out with two different varieties of mushrooms. One which was done in summer months and one in winter months. And these are some of the, problem solving at every stage of the value chain in terms of inputs, in terms of production and processing, and in terms of output. Some of the impact that we could generate. And one thing I would like to point out is that we have been trying to achieve convergences with the various government schemes and departments through the National Rural Livelihood Mission. We are trying to train the SSGs that are already into cultivation. Through Poshan Abhiyan, we are trying to encourage the schools to take up mushroom, because mushroom has been proven to be a very nutritious food, and we are trying to encourage the schools to take this up as an additive with the midday meal. Also, since mushroom has a short shelf life, and often it is not, in terms of the child's palate, it may not, the child may not like it that much. So we have developed, with the help of the technology incubator department of the biotech department of Borland University, we've developed a range of about 13 high shelf life mushroom products like mushroom soup powder, mushroom rasgulla, mushroom cake, mushroom biscuits, mushroom noodles, and so on, which are proving to be very popular amongst all age groups. So some of the problems and how we have identified these, I'll not go into detail. I think, I've finished up my 10 minutes, but these are some of the photographs. It shows that a revolution is being achieved with engagement of the self-help groups. Some of the high shelf life products, we even have mushroom chocolate here, and this cordyceps militaris is, if you Google it, you'll find that it comes to about, the costing of it is about 32 lakhs per kg, if you go for the naturally occurring variety. But here we have developed it on a brown rice substrate, and we are able to sell these capsules for only about 2,000 rupees per box. This is the summer mushroom, winter mushroom, across annually across the year. We have oyster mushroom, which can be done in the winter months, and milky mushroom, which can be done in the summer months, which also provides greater disaster resilience to our farmers. We are also trying to market it in our neighboring countries, like here I'm talking to representatives from Bhutan. We are also trying to get the farmer associations so that they have better negotiating and bargaining power. Some of the mushroom producers, R&D, how we have overcome various problems that we face, because we are not a very resource rich district, but in spite of that, how we've been able to optimize our resources. So these are some of the facilities that we have at Kokrajhar for mushroom. And two success stories I've given here. I can share later on these stories. So with this, I'll wind up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Varnali. It's a very interesting presentation. And
thank you.
See, the Poshan Club and all that, these are quite good initiatives, because involving children at the stage and excuse me, and making them interact with each other to eat the food which they are supposed to eat, not protest. It's a very good intervention. But most important is the way you have done with the mushroom. It's a high protein and very nutritious diet. But as you said, they are very bland. They don't have their own taste as such. But making them into sweets and chocolates and cakes, I think this is, I wouldn't have thought about it. It's very, very innovative. And I must congratulate you for getting into this idea. Well, thank you very much. You must now propagate this, not only Bhutan. The product should be marketed elsewhere also. You should do it, proper after patenting. It should be, marketed across the world. I must say, because they will be surviving, and with Amazon and others, delivery shouldn't be a problem. So, thank you very much for a very nice presentation.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
I go to my next speaker. So I invite Mr. Wagmare Prasad Krishna, who is the Deputy Commissioner, Lohardaga. He is a medical doctor by profession and by training, and a administrator by profession. So he has served as Joint Secretary, Health, Medical Education, Family Welfare, etc. And also has had a stint as tourism director. Now, this is a very eclectic mix of experience and expertise. So I now invite you Mr. Prasad Krishna, to make your presentation and tell us how and what you have achieved in your stint as the district collector of
Thank you so much, ma'am. I first of all express my gratitude. It's a great honor to be here. Today I am here to speak about one of our projects. First of all, let me start by introducing my district. It's a small district in state of Jharkhand. It's tribal dominated, and also we are very badly hit by left wing extremism. So a large, substantial part of the district is affected by left-wing extremism, and also it is tribal dominated. So whenever we work within these limitations and constraints. And one of the major challenges is in such areas is to develop sustainable livelihoods for the people who stay here, and the notions of development of indigenous population can be very different from people like me, for example, who have very urban backgrounds. And it's very important to balance between the two notions of development. So I would like to present one of our projects. So this is a briquetting plant which we established in Kisco block. Kisco is also one of our forest dominated area, and it's also affected by left-wing extremism, also tribal dominated. So before I start the presentation, the concept is very simple. The dry leaves, they are compacted in our plant, and we produce something which is known as briquette, and this briquette is used as fuel in majorly brick kilns, etc. And this fuel is very efficient because it contains calorific value of nearly 2/3 of that of coal. And we produce it entirely out of the dry leaves which are collected. So this was the need of the project that we felt. We are in the summer seasons, we are faced with a lot of forest fires, and that ends up destroying a lot of flora and fauna in the forest. And many of the fires are of human origin. And we found that one of the reasons why the fires were starting because these dry leaves which were there on the bed of the forest, and they used to get torched somehow. And one of the reasons why they get torched is when tribals, they try to pick mahua from the forest ground in order to clear the leaves so that they can see the mahua. They usually we're starting these fires. So this idea came about, and we thought of this plant that it gives solution to both the problems. One, the leaves which are there, the dry leaves which are there, now the villagers are incentivized to pick them up and bring it to us in our plant, where we pay 2 rupees per kilogram of leaves to the villagers. And here what it does is it creates a new livelihood opportunity and an additional income for the family. And while they clear the forest land of the dry leaves, they can see the mahua seeds or whatever they wanted to pick, mahua flowers, and they don't need to torch them, or anyhow the incidence of forest fires have come down. And this briquettes that we produce in this particular plant, these are very efficient as fuel, and the demand is very high amongst especially the brick kilns operators, for whom the coal is substantially more expensive than our briquettes. And we have seen the demand such as we are not able to fulfill the said demand with the current capacity of our briquetting plant. and we are establishing 2 more briquetting plants in 2 other blocks this year. And this model is very efficient. This whole operation is owned by a cooperative that we formed. The owners are tribal families themselves. So whatever is the profit that is earned out of the briquetting operation, it also goes back to the families who are operating this plant. And it is if the first year that we operated it ran into loss, because whatever raw material that we collected, it got wet in the monsoon months, because we didn't have a storage facility. So that was a learning for us, and we established a good storage facility after that with the help of CSR. And now we store the raw material for the entire year during the months of summer when the dry leaves are available, and we use that throughout the year. And as I said, the demand is much higher than what we are able to supply right now. And apart from the 2 blocks where we have already sanctioned these plants this year, the demand is coming from other parts of the district as well. So this project of ours, I feel it is a successful model for us, and we are looking forward to replicate it further. Lastly, I would like to conclude by again underlining that in tribal areas especially, one needs to look at different models of development, models which don't really fit into our traditional sense or definitions of development, which includes majorly urbanization is what we mean when we say development. But in tribal regions, their lifestyle, their culture, their traditions, and this lifestyle is so intricately intertwined with the nature, the forest, the land, and the water itself, so that we need to look at these different models of development. And I feel our current project, which we are presenting, the PPP plan, fits perfectly into that concept. And we are also looking forward to replicate this same idea in many of our future projects as well. This year we are also planning to establish a plant which will manufacture the bamboo crafts, furniture, and various crafts such as that. Also, we are planning to establish a plant which will produce disposable plates and bowls out of the green leaves. The Dona Pattal plant that is also coming up this year. We have already sanctioned it. So this I think such kind of projects also have a great reception from the tribal communities, and we will be definitely able to take many of these success stories forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Krishna. It's actually very interesting to see that you have done a project which actually doesn't need much of an investment. So you allowed the people to do what they normally do, but instead of setting the fire, collect them and bring it for getting some employment. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. The forest gets cleared, the fire doesn't happen, and then the people get employment. And all this by forming a cooperative, which again helps in employment generation as well as financial inclusion. So you can, like one can say that you have killed, with one stone you have killed many birds, if I may say so. And it's really good because it's very simple and it can be done in any of the forest dominated areas. You don't need much infrastructure to do it. You just need to have some, thinking process going on, thinking out of box. Thank you very much. Very innovative and very nice.
Thank you so much.
So with this, now I go to the next speaker. I invite Miss Kirti Jani. So let me make a small introduction about the next panelist. Miss Kirti Jani is the District Collector of Kachar. She has excelled in public administration for the year 2019-20 when she was DC Hailkandi. So She has also done a lot of convergence projects and worked closely with grassroots level. So, Kirti, may I now invite you to make your presentation?
Ma'am, good afternoon. Firstly, thank you for this opportunity, and thank you to Scotch as well for giving us this platform to even check and verify from other peers as to what best practices can be emulated across the country. I was told a presentation was not required, so I haven't made one. I'd like to speak briefly on our flood management exercise that we've taken up.
Doesn't matter, those who have done the work and don't really, I mean, unless it is facts and figures, you don't really need to make a presentation in a PPT file.
Thank you, ma'am. So in Kachar, what we, as administrators, some original jurisdictions still exist with the deputy commissioner, like revenue, like elections, like disaster management. And one of the opportunities I had gotten here was during the flood of 2022, in which Kachar had seen historic, like history-breaking records of all kinds. We've never before seen a flood of this kind in this kind of situation.
So, well, I think we'll wait for her to join when she comes back. So we can go to now Dr. Bipin Itankar, who is the DM and Collector Nanded. He, again, Dr. Itankar is a doctor turned IS officer. He comes from Naxal affected Chandrapur district, and he has worked at the district as well as sub-district level extensively. So let me invite Mr. Bipin Itankar to make his interventions, a short intervention. Maybe we can go for about 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. Mr. Itankar.
Yes, good afternoon, Team Coach. I am Dr. Sunil Lahane, Municipal Commissioner Nanded, on behalf of District Collector Bipin Itankar. Actually,
sorry
this
about
project.
That. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that. So,
this project,
actually, your name, the name is still Bipin Itankar. That's what I.
Yeah. I have joined on behalf of him because the project is actually implemented district in the whole district as the municipal corporation, in the municipal councils and other institutions. That is decentralized wastewater treatment system. Nanded city is situated on the banks of river Godavari, and the Godavari river flows in the central part of the city. About 18-19 nalas which carries the wastewater. This water is carried and flowed added in the river Godavari, and the river was getting polluted. Actually, this municipal corporation has system of treating the sewage waste, but centralized sewage waste treatment is one part, and wastewater treatment was not attended ever before. So the river was getting polluted. Pollution Control Board was much worried about it, and there were a number of notices to the municipal corporations and other planning authorities. So we have moved to this system, that is MBBR technology, for treating of decentralized treatment of wastewater. This system, in this system there are decentralized prefabricated wastewater treatment systems which can be shifted easily. That at any given point it requires very less space. For example, for treating of 1 lakh liter, we need only 200 square feet of space. It is totally natural treatment. No chemical is added for this system. In this system, it is totally controlled by PCL, so very less manpower is required. Just only one person is required to operate. That is for switching off and switching on the electric button. No other manpower is required for treatment of this one. We were very surprised before putting this system, because it took only around 30 lakh rupees for treatment of 1 lakh liter of wastewater. Till now we have mapped the city, whole city, put on some systems, and outside municipal corporation there is medical college. From that side also that Nala carries wastewater from medical college, and that was being added in the dam which is on the upper stream of the city. The dam was also getting polluted. That system which is put in the medical college also have provided a very well result, and no wastewater is now flowing, because after treatment this water is being reused. In the city we have a Visava garden, a good garden that is being maintained. Whole garden is maintained from the wastewater treatment. Municipal corporation has a stadium. We are putting another wastewater treatment plant for maintaining the lawn in the stadium. It is very well maintained stadium lawn that can be we can play international matches also. That type of ground is here. We are planning to block all these nalas and treat this wastewater, and treated water can be reused. Till now, this water is being used for gardening, for building construction, for washing roads, and for washing cars. There is no wastage of treated water, because when we go for a centralized system of wastewater treatment, large quantity of water, wastewater is to be carried to the treatment plant, and after treatment there is no use of that water. That water is just flowed in the river, and that is of no use for the city. So this decentralized system, we are in so much benefit that we have in benefit of saving electricity for carrying the wastewater, and after treatment this water is being used. Best wastewater treatment plant, if I have no presentation now here, I cannot upload now, but we can see that it is very beautiful system. It is a type of 200 square feet land that can be occupied for the setting of the treatment plant. That is the structure of just like a generator, and that is space is very beautified. There is a garden. There is only one person sitting. There is no smell. If we can analyze the treated water according to the norms of Pollution Control Board, the pH, oil and grease, BOD, COD, total suspended solids are within limits given by both Central Pollution Control Board and State Pollution Control Board. This is a moving bed biofilm reactor system, MBBR system, that is previously it was invented in Norway in 1980s, 1990s. But after so many developments and innovations, now it is being used in our state, and Nanded Municipal Corporation is on the way to get the Godavari River pollution free. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Dr. Lahane. It's a very nice intervention because river pollution has been posing a very big problem for all of us across the country. So these are small initiatives taken in pockets can go a very long way into building AatmaNirbhar.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So
Yes.
thank you very much for your brief intervention, and we really appreciate. Maybe sometime you will be able to make the presentation which you have already have with you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, are we getting Ms. Jali back? She is here. No, her connection is still not on. Okay, we'll wait for the next speaker. So now I invite Dr. Renu Raj, another doctor by training actually. She has been a sub-collector in Devikulam and Thrissur. Now, in a very short time, she has got a lot of appreciation from wide range of people for her, bold decisions and upright administrative actions. So, she was earlier district collector in Alappuzha district also. Now, I invite Dr. Renu to make her intervention.
Thank you, Dr. Shefali. A very good afternoon to Team SKOCH and everybody who is participating. I also do not have a presentation. I'll just talk for a few minutes about the background in which our project Pratyusha was launched and is being run. So Kerala is considered as one of the most literate states in the country, but the thing is not everyone is getting a full access to good quality learning. So keeping their financial instabilities and related matters aside also, many students do not actually get the right educational facilities to enroll themselves or avail themselves into many benefits that are being provided by governments and NGOs and otherwise. In addition to the lack of financial support, there may be many other reasons, the most important one being a lack of awareness about the available opportunities and a lack of proper guidance. So we had a report that nearly 70% of the population of students hail from government schools in the district, and even the best performers of the schools were failing to participate in competitive exams. These exams are actually just in their hands reach, but many of them do not even know much about the exams and how to participate in it and how to win the competition. So and then there are large numbers of private schools which have generally driven attention of the general public as well as authorities away from the public educational institutions. And in addition, we had the adversity of the pandemic also. The schools were shut down for almost 2 years and the classes were being conducted online. And there was inadequate resources which created a drift between the effective interaction as well as the communication between classmates and between students and their teachers. So we examined these drawbacks in detail, and the District Administration of Ernakulam, in-school learning LLP and Petronet LNG came together for the rescue of such students who are very bright and active, but who lack the opportunity to participate in such competitions. And we came up with a project Pratyusha to give the unprivileged a bigger window of more opportunities. So the project was found in the year 2021. And Pratyusha is a project that paved the path for around 300 students, 300 selected students from public education system in the district, and helped them to achieve the dream of better academic excellence, especially through the National Means Cum Merit Scholarship Scheme. So as you all know, the National Means Cum Merit Scholarship is a central government sponsored scheme, and it aims at providing financial assistance to meritorious students belonging to economically weaker sections of the society. And it also helps to arrest their dropout rate at class 8 and to encourage them to continue studies to the secondary stage. So we basically made use of this program, and the number of NMMS scholars from the government schools in the district of Ernakulam in the past 5 years was very low. It was as low as say 37. Against a quota of nearly 80 to 90, which is approximately calculated for the district. And the project focused on bringing up the students who do not have the right tutoring for these competitive exams. And with the help of a line of professional teachers and mentors, we successfully coached around 300 students from various parts of the district through various use of easy aids for all students to get access into. And we focus on the various phases of the project, etc. We have already discussed in detail when we submitted the project. And the result is, out of the 300, 250 students became eligible for the scholarship with the minimum amount of eligibility criteria and the marks they were required to. And this year, 85 of our students qualified the scholarship, and we have got around 40 lakh of scholarship money in the district as a result of over the past 1 year of work that we did through the program. And the program is still continuing, and this year we expect to double our results and bring in more students into this opportunity and arena of attempting for not just NMMS but other scholarships provided by the central as well as the state governments. So that is in brief about how Project Pratyusha came into existence. Thank you so much.
Yes, great work, Dr. Renu. I must congratulate you for not only more than double the number of students who got the scholarship, but actually brought in kind of competitiveness among them. So awareness generation is one, which you have done, but more than that, you have brought in competitiveness. So people out of the 380 got the scholarship, but the remaining students also try to come into the 300 group.
Very
So,
true.
that is also another layer. You are trying to populate down the competitiveness and awareness among the children. And school children are the building blocks of our nation. So, congratulations for such a nice job. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support.
So now we finished 4 of our panelists. We are still. Shall we wait for Miss Kirti Jali, or she is not connected yet?
She is not connected yet. So we can start the discussion.
I can. Okay. So now that now the forum is now open for all our participants. You have heard the, I would say 4.5 presenters, because Kirti has made a small intervention in the meanwhile. So any of you have some questions, because we still have what, another 10 minutes to go. So anybody has anything to ask the panelists? Or maybe the panelists can make some intervention regarding others projects. Well, I think there is, the presentations were so nice and self-explanatory. Probably nobody wants to ask any questions. So Dr. Gursharan, I hand over the session back to you now.
We have still 10 minutes for this session.
Anybody wants to say anything in between? Because we still have 10 minutes left of our allotted time.
Okay, no issue. We'll close this session a little bit early. Okay, so we'll start. We'll run a small video. We'll break for the lunch, and we'll meet post lunch for the next session of Order of Merit. So thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Das.
So I thank all the panelists as well as the participants, and I hope you will be having a much more fruitful discussion in the next sessions. Thank you very much.